And we are live. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, skewers of all ages. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jedi Academy, the Q&A show that's here to answer all your questions about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. That's right, folks. This is a Q&A show where we bring the best and brightest of content creators together to bring forth the knowledge that you guys need to maybe make your gaming experience a little bit better and help you with what you're trying to do. So, a couple things. It is me, myself, and I running the show today. I'm Gold Ranger J 1999, part of the RC crew, but I'm running solo because Finn has a seminar meeting. He's probably in bed eating Twinkies and stroking his pork inappropriately. So it's going to be a little tough for me today doing all the work. The other thing, too, is for some reason Nightbot is not working, and that's not good. So that means I'm going to go old school with this and go through all the questions like, Jesus Christ, I don't know how I'm going to do this. It's going to suck. So, but get your questions in, and the way this show works, unlike everything, is it's a straight Q&A show. So if you want to pose a question to us, all you have to do is put your question into the chat. Make sure you put question in front of your statement. That allows us for me to identify it, and then we will get it read. So, and also get your questions in sooner rather than later. Because there's a time limit. We do this for about 2 hours. So if you get your questions in now, it's going to help you out long term. So yeah. So bear with me a little today. I might miss your question. If I do, I apologize. I'm trying to look at 10 different things at once, and that's just how it goes. But we're glad to have you guys here. If you're doing anything else on a Saturday morning, but you're here with us, and we really appreciate it. So let's introduce who's here so far for the council. We've got, of course, Nev from the Escape Podcast.
Hello.
Everyone says Ranger sounds weird. Do I sound weird?
That's because you're chewing. You got chewing tobacco out.
Yeah. Do I have like a weird roboto voice or something?
No, it's not weird.
No, you're actually about 2 octaves deeper than you always are.
Oh.
You're actually about 2 octaves deeper. It's interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're definitely 2 octaves.
Fact that you had some chewing tobacco.
Weird. It's definitely 2 octaves deeper than normal.
Okay, it should be good now. You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, no, that makes a difference.
Okay, yeah, well, I didn't. Nobody. Yep. Yeah, Lone Star.
you were talking like this, and I just thought that there was something going on, but I was like,
you were channeling CG Fedora.
Show me the dark side again, grandfather.
So there we go. That should be a lot better. I didn't realize the mic had gone to poop. So, but let's try this again. Nev from the Escape Podcast is here in his own channel. Nev, what's going on?
Hello, I'm good. Are you?
Good. Now that my voice seems to be
functioning normal.
I think it's this wire. I'm going to have to get a new one. Also joining us, we got KP67s.
Hello.
We've got the man, the myth, the returning champion, Warrior.
What's going on?
And putting it all together with a little bit of Jedi and spice and everything nice. The smuggler herself, Jedi Master Dasher's here.
Good morning. And yes, you sound way better now.
Yeah, that's weird. It just does that. For some reason the connection gets funky and then it makes my voice modulate and stuff. So one of the many things I get to deal with today. I'm going to try to see if Nightbot is working again. Finally. God, that was giving me a stroke. God dang it. Oh, I was going to say, this is going to suck if I have to do this old school. But I don't. So get your questions in. And yes, they are starting to come in now perfectly. Thank baby Jesus. All right. So get your questions in. We usually start off while we let everybody have a moment to kind of... We get the questions to get it coming in. So give people time to get here and stuff like that. We talk about like kind of the state of the galaxy or what's on our mind. We call it what's on your mind for this week. I mean, we had TBGAC, nothing new. We got some new announcements from previous week. There was no big announcement this week. We're still kind of collecting ourselves from previous week with the ticket announcement and more relic for the Galactic Legends and all that stuff. But Nev, what's been on your mind this week with the game?
Well, more people have been talking about bug. I don't know if it's a case of more bugs or just bugs have kind of like come to the forefront of discussion because there's nothing else to discuss. I suppose when CG don't give us stuff, people tend to focus on the most obvious negatives, and because GOTB was running, people were focusing on the bugs with the GOTB. Apparently, there was some bug on the cam mission where Django was putting burn and debuffs on everybody, even after tenacity up was applied. So that's never something you want to see in a mission for cam shards. Is like, yay, I've got my tenacity up. It's like, oh crap, there's a bug that makes it irrelevant. So, but yeah, apart from that, people just been talking about bugs in the game because there's nothing else to discuss.
This stems from their decision about gas, and they're just sheer laziness and not having a good feel for this game. From our data, gas doesn't seem to be, blah blah blah. Like, what game are you playing, man? So that was, that's one of the things that's brought the bugs to the forefront, because a lot of times now CG's like, it's not it's like, what are you talking about? Like, fix the game, Jesus. Keep67, what's on your mind, my friend?
Same general thing. This TV, I feel like it's just slowly breaking our spirits.
It really is. Yeah, we talked about this earlier. I'm like, hey, we got 16 stars. Yay.
Like, it's just, I can't even put it into words. Maybe it's just the coffee slowly kicking in. I don't know, but that's all I gotta say. Just I'm
let the coffee,
exasperated.
Yeah, with the coffee.
Don't worry, man. I got your back. I have something to say.
Yes.
Oh, really, Jedi Master Dasher?
You know what's coming.
I know what's coming. I'll let a Dasher.
What's on your mind, Jedi Master Dasher?
Well, glad you asked.
I'm glad I'm here to ask that you need me to ask what you need to ask.
This the TV, the cam mission.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, we get that this mission is supposed to be harder. This TV is the latest, hardest content. But when you have a full Relic 7, well-modded team, not to mention that I put together a detailed guide with the help of the cam server. I don't know if you've heard of them. It's a merch server that they did for the cam.
Okay.
Just for that reason. But yeah, so like all this effort has gone into perfecting, trying to give us all the best chance possible at beating this mission, right? But the RNG is just a nightmare. And that's not even with the burn bug. So the burn bug is actually, it's not even just tenacity up. It's in general, if any of your characters resist burn bug. So tenacity up is the easiest way to tell when it happens, because you'll resist it, so then everyone gets it, and then you slowly die.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But on top of that, there's RNG that Django can just burn you over and over and over. So you're just gonna die from the damage of his AoEs. And then there's just, oh my god, it's very frustrating when you just have a full max team and you can just get obliterated. Because then sometimes you have the RNG where they just kill your 5s without sacrificing. Or they kill your Shock D right away. And that's like very hard to come from because she's your healer.
Mm-hmm.
So, just all this effort goes into this and we just get destroyed. So it's like, what is the point? You put everything into it. You can do everything you can, and you can still just get obliterated like you sent in a Gear 1 squad.
Mm-hmm.
It's very frustrating. And then on top of that, you have guilds that got double drops. Like, insult to injury there, that there's already unlocks because of the double drops. And that is just so overall. And then CG, they just don't care.
No.
It's very, like, I have reached my point. Like, I've had enough. Like, this is just so frustrating, and we can't do anything about it.
But have you? Though?
Warrior.
Have what?
But have you, though?
What do you mean?
Have you what?
You
God.
say that, but do you really mean what you say?
No, we were
You
going
should've
off.
seen- You
She
should've
says
seen
that,
my,
but I don't think it means
new-
what she says it means.
No. No.
Let's just say I had a few choice words the other day. But it
I had never
really is so frustrating. Like
It is
that-
frustrating because you go in. I mean, I got a couple four out of 4s day 1 and day 2, right? But it's the RNG on that sometimes is just. Light side GOTV is just where you go in with your highly Relic 7 team and just to get basically manhandled, because even if you get through like a couple, like with my Padme team, I get through the first 1 or 2 and then I get to phase 3. It's like, all right, they're gone. They just died together horribly, so it's, oh Lordy in heaven, it's brutal, man. It's just, and I think it's compounding with what you're saying, Jenna, Adastra, that even with the top of the line Relic 7 characters, at any time, at any moment, you're going to get raffle stomped. It just happens.
And that's even without the bug. So like the
I
bug
know.
on top of it is just like,
It's adding
good
insult to
luck,
injury.
yeah.
Yeah, we're talking. Everybody has to deal with like Old Testament RNG gods. It doesn't matter how much you worship the RNG gods. The Old Testament RNG gods, hate you, will smite you. They'll do all sorts of nasty things to you, and there is no appeasing Old Testament RNG gods.
I was trying Little Annie in this. I was like, hey, I'll try spitting. That's a good trick. Nope. Did not work. All right.
All I'm going to say is I've never seen Adastra use the F word so much.
I have.
I don't think I've ever used that on here, so no.
Oh, I
you
never
haven't.
said on here. I never said on here.
Oh, did someone screenshot my anger?
Good.
I was very angry.
Good,
I even
Adastra.
changed my username for
Yeah,
a little bit
hate
because of
makes
how
you
pissed I was.
A strong Sith.
My
you're
shard
becoming.
mates were like, "Well, who's this person?"
Yeah.
And then they were all asking me, "What's going on? Why'd you change your name to that?"
Warrior, anything for you guys? Start getting into some questions. Anything on your mind?
No, I was just hoping for something new in the game. I was watching for some new content in the videos, and the only thing new is they announced that they're going to have another question and answer session to answer questions about
art.
nothing.
Don't worry, and RNG will cover. I got RNG in my mind. RSG will be there to do our live interpretation of the Des. If you haven't
Yeah, that'll
watched
be
it,
great.
We do it
I
every
look forward
time.
to that.
Yeah, we will make sure to cover every question, and we will have every one of the producers, developers represented. With the
Hopefully
voices
not
you love.
Capital Games on Twitter does the same thing because they always do a good job as well.
Yes, we love them too. So, all right, let's get to the question. We'll go with you, Warrior. Well, this one's for me, so let me find a question for you, Warrior. So, I'll give you a second. It says, question, Darkside Ranger J1999 question. Hey, everybody. Darkside Harry Carey here. Hey, when's that dumbass jerk Finn gonna tell Ranger to put some dang speed protection on his side of Dardanella so he won't continue to get raffle stomped? Well, I hate to tell you this. I had one match where it didn't work, but I'll go back and fix them. Okay, so here's the first question from Jason Krulik to you, Warrior. He says, I think it's safe to assume Resistance heroes Poe and Finn, Hux, and Sith Trooper will be required for the Galactic Legend. That leaves Rose and Holdo and First Order Trooper and First Order Stormtrooper. Which do they use? So he's asking, out of those, on the Resistance and the First Order side there, War, do you think they're going to go with Rose or Holdo, or First Order TP, or SFTP for the final character, if they go ships?
For the Resistance, I think they're going to use Rose as one of the characters for sure.
Just to,
and
Just to spite
I mean,
us.
why wouldn't they do that? Because
Why not make
she's a-
Holdo, who's got the new capital ship? I mean, that would just
Yeah, and then Holdo's going to have the capital ship. So I think they're going to make every one of those characters required in some way, whether it be for the ships, like Hux for the ship, and then a prerequisite for one of the characters' prerequisites for having to relic out a character for the need. So you're going to have the character for another character or a character for a ship. I don't see you not having to need the character for some reason, whether it be ships or for a prerequisite to the legends.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting on the other side. Like, it's going to be, if they include Hux and Sith Trooper, if it's going to be FOTP or FSOTP. Hell, it could be all of them. At this point, I don't know what the hell CG is doing. All I know
the thing with the newer characters is it's not as big a deal. I mean, like it wouldn't hurt my heart if I was still planning to do this new Sith Trooper or Hux or whatever, because those characters, the new ones that come out, are always way more relevant. It's definitely the Rose that would hurt my heart to do, or the old Resistance Trooper or something, because it's that would be much more painful to have to spend time on. Resistance Trooper, that would just be that wouldn't be as fun. Or Resistance Pilot, Resistance Pilot would not be fun.
It hurts, man.
Yeah.
I took her to 12 and I'm just in there looking at her I can't believe I'm relicking this stupid ass character for this stupid
Resistance Pilot, Rose, those would be definitely painful.
Well, we know there's one Relic 7 out there, and that's Finn, but he doesn't have even close to the rest of the characters, so he'll at least can say, hey, I got Rose ready. So, yeah, so that'll be extra creamy. All right, let's go to the next question. We'll go to you, Nev. See, the next question is from Jezza G. Question, can you tell me the equation for converting a character's defensive stats, base, and mods into the armor stats shown in-game?
No. I honestly do not know how the hell that is worked out.
We did this we actually did something for this with the BI. I'll let Finn do this. He's the math one. And I know how it works. Anybody want to take a stab at this? I don't just want to answer questions. Anybody? Defense, stats, mods?
I would just refer to your old website.
Yeah. So, I mean, the defensive stat itself, it's complicated. So you have a certain defensive percentage or defense stat, right? And it reduces the amount of damage you take. And I think armor does kind of the same thing too. I don't know what the exact equation is for the mixing.
I think the armor's halves. So if you've got 50% armor, then damage takes twice as long. Because I remember doing a GAC many moons ago, and the health and protection on a stormtrooper, because it was an old Empire squad that I was going at, was 20,000 total health and protection. And it took 5 hits for my, OP Jedi Master, GMY, Jedi Master Yoda, to chew through him. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is going on here? It should have been one shot. And then I looked at his defense and his armor was at 50%. And I went back and played the video, and I was only hitting 4,000. I was only taking 4,000 health and protection off this guy. So yeah, it's something that the more armor and the more defense you've got on a character, it kind of reduces it.
But I don't know.
So
the
if you would
equation,
take
this,
yeah, but
what
I do not know what the equation
equates
is.
to. I don't know that off the top of my head. So.
Oh, there's actually a really good guide out there. I was
Which one
just
is
looking
it?
for it.
I
so
know.
can post it.
Find it if you can, and put that in the chat.
So
That'd be
waffled
so
on long
it's
enough for you to find it.
Yeah, it's a Reddit post that this person made that I posted it in my guild, actually, because we were talking about this in the guild, that mainly because Gear 13, the relics changed everything, right?
Yeah.
And so defense mods have actually become really viable because of that, because of the scaling. So this user here, he put together this really detailed post talking about defense related to health. and talking about how defense is really good for certain characters of your armor boosts and whatnot compared to going all in on health. So it's mainly for like tanks and such that it's going to be more worthwhile having the defense on there instead of just health. So it's, I mean, I could just read everything he wrote, but it's pretty long.
No, we're not doing that.
So I'm just I'll log in and post that because it's really well done.
Yeah, we were doing last week with the VIPs. We were discussing that Finn had a actual spreadsheet out with like a certain percentage of armor defense. Right, he had it up there, and he was showing like how it works when it reduces damage, and then how much damage, not including any specials or crits, but just like base damage, how that works, you know, and how many hits that your character, especially your more defensive characters, your tanks and stuff, can take before they have to go down. And that's not including anything. They were just using some basic numbers, but it gets kind of complicated when you start adding in, well, what's the offensive character's armor penetration and all this other stuff. So it can get a little. Yeah, look at that post. They'll probably explain it more.
Yeah, here I'll just read one small example. Like he just put, like, to find out how much effective health each defense is worth on your character, you multiply health plus protection by 0.00156. This will tell you how much each defense is worth. So for example, an 80k HP old Daka, she has a mod that gives plus 42 defense secondary, because Daka can regain HP and not protection. For the sake of this argument, let's ignore her protection. She has 80k HP. You get the 0.00156 times the 80k, and you get 124.8 effective health for each defense point. So that plus 42 defense is worth 42 times 42 times 124.8 equals 5,241.6 effective health. So you get more than a health secondary would get her because of all that. So it's pretty fascinating. So let me post it now. I just logged in.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next question. We'll go to KP67. Sorry, I'm trying to track different things here. Well, first off, is Rafael X Gaming is asking me a question. He says, when is Ranger going to ask me to put something in the basket? Well, when you place the lotion onto the skin, or you'll get the hose again. Or you can just go to our Amazon wish list. We have fun stuff you can place into the Amazon wish list basket, and then you can send it to me. I'm all about free crap. So, all right, KP67s. Let me see here. Belrit Puppy Chulo says, question, is there a relic level I can take my Nightsister Spirit to give them a fighting chance against Padme for GAC? Or perhaps a different team to bait their Padme usage?
If you want to give your spirit a fighting chance, I mean, like, the higher the relic, the better she'll be. I mean, what is it, like R5? She hits for, like, some stupid amount of damage.
Yeah. Once she gets past relic 3 is when you start seeing that damage increase go, like, and survivability, too.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you wanted to bait Padme... that's a tough call. I mean, like,
it's hard to bait because...
Yeah.
I mean,
like, I guess you could put gas out there, and if people don't want to risk CLS, they can use their Padme, or if they set their gas, but most people save their gas for theirs.
I mean,
maybe a weak DR squad, like, you know, you look at someone's GAC history, and you see they keep placing, like, some weak DR setup that Padme could beat up, and people are like, oh, I could use Padme, and then they don't have a Padme, maybe, or a Grievous, I don't know.
But Padme's that straight hard counter to Nightsisters easily, so is Darth Revan and Jedi Knight Revan.
True, but
how do you go about getting them to use Padme on that team? It's just how you set up your front line and make them make a decision to, because I prefer that they use Padme or trio. I usually put Nightsisters and my own Padme on the front line. So I know, and with my bounty hunters on the front line, I know 3 heavy hitting teams are going to be used. Has to be. So then when they get to the back line, then if they've used Treya, that's more my important. I don't care if they use Padme. When they get to my Geos and Grievous and stuff, it's like, aha.
No trio for you.
No stuff for you. So it's a question where you put them.
Me personally, I would just throw them out front and just be
but
like,
even if
have
you,
fun.
if you relic your spirit, Padme, especially if they have some just low level relics, can just eats that team alive. You know, you can't land they can't land plague. You know, they're constantly getting health protection, and you know, one Anakin AOE just nom nom, and then they start getting their extra stacks, and then it's over. You know, I mean, Nightsisters just get wrecked. There's nothing you can do about it, especially on defense. I mean, you're not going to land plague. You may remove their buffs, but I mean, good luck. I mean, it's not gonna. There's nothing you can do. So, but trying to entice them to use something for Padme, you know, if you put gas or Darth Revan down, unless they're going to go mirror, they might use Padme there, or I guess another strong team. So it just depends. So there's no easy way to do it. All right, back up top to Warrior. Darksign 1972 question for the panel. This is for the panel, but we're going to start with you, Warrior. This is a pretty good one.
All right.
What is one thing CG should or could do to help the free-to-play players? It's a great question.
Yeah, so they have got to reassess accessibility to the full spectrum of not only characters but events, and they need to reassess the tier system. So much like they originally started with, like let's go back to like Rancor and hat raids and things like that, where, you know, with the AAT raid, where there's different tiers, and, you know, lower raid tiers you can still get rewards, but you can access it at like tier 3, 4, 5, you know, and then eventually you go to the heroic level when you're ready. It was something that you could be in a guild, and if you weren't ready, you could access it regardless, instantaneously, enjoy it immediately, and participate with 20 people or 30 people. And when you were ready, you could go heroic, and the rewards were the same, basically just cranked up a little. And then at the highest level, there was a character, which was the incentive to get into the higher guilds, or get your guild pumped up and ready to go at the highest level. And the Sith raid was kind of the pinnacle, you know, because it was the hardest and it had that newest character kind of thing. Well, the last stuff that they brought out, the TB, is really, really difficult. It's still kind of doable with like mid-level teams, because like my free-to-play account was in a guild that was 150 mil, and we did, you know, 12 to 14 stars. So I would say that's, even though it's doable, it was unfun, because we could still get 12 to 14 stars, but there was no real like excitement for that. So doable but not fun, which that's kind of stinky. And so then it goes to Grand Arena Championships, which that needs to be relooked at as far as how they build the tiered structure, because at 7 million GP, I had basically the same number of teams I had to set as my 1.7 million GP account. That doesn't make any sense, that I'd have to set almost the same number of teams. I mean, literally, I had to set like 8 defenses, and then I had 8 defenses, and then I had to set 10 defenses for, you know, the other one. It's just like weird that I only had to set a couple extra defenses for having full, you know, over 4 million extra GP. So there needed to be a reassessment of how that tier structure looked, to make it a little more viable. So they kind of have to reassess the structure system. It was easy to hit Kyber. I could win, you know, 8 of 12 battles or 9 of 12 battles and still hit Kyber. But when I get in one, you know, tier 1, if I won all 12 of 12, I still might miss Kyber.
Yeah.
So that's just it's not the same thing. My point is that they need to relook at the GOT, you know, the territory battles, because even territory battles, even if you can do them, they're not fun necessarily. The Grand Arena Championships, it's not equitable across all lines. So, you know, what is fun for some people isn't fun for other people, and so they need to relook at that. And then, you know, and then they come to the highest content now, the newest stuff, the things they've been working on for the last 6 months, which is the newest characters. And their idea is if you're free to play, you just don't get to participate. Sorry. And people say, oh, well, don't worry about it. Move at your own pace. Well, your own pace will be never. And then for everybody else, you get to do it. And so people say, well, just don't worry about it. Well, that's nice. I'm glad that you get to say I just get to write it off. But what if I don't want to write it off? What if I'm free to play, but I want to do it? Well, that's a sucky thing that you have to just accept, is I don't ever get to have the two newest characters. They spent the last 6 months to a year developing these two new characters, and it's the newest, greatest, shiny thing in the game. Basically, they're the new game mode, and I don't get to play with the new game mode. I don't get to play with the new characters because I'm free to play, and there's no way to access these characters. That sucks. And for people to say, well, free to play can still do it. Relic 7 is virtually impossible for free to play. And this is how I know, because I did a free to play account for a year. In 1 year, I was able to do 2 Relic 7s, and I had a competitive account where I was first place every day in two things. I was able to relic 2 accounts or 2 characters to 7, and then ran out of the materials to get past 6. The rest of the characters I can only get to Relic 5. So these characters require a number of characters to get to Relic 7. And on my free-to-play account, if I was still playing, I would not, for a fact, be able to get either one of these characters. I would not be able to get them. And it would take me probably a year to be able to get those materials enough free-to-play to be able to access either one of those. And I am a highly competitive individual free-to-play, and it would still take me a minimum of a year. That's relatively inaccessible / nearly impossible. For the vast 95 percentile of free-to-play, that's impossible. So it's just kind of a thing, again, where people say, well, don't worry about it, just play at your own pace. I get that, but why is that acceptable? Why is that okay? Why is it a thing in the game where people have to just be okay to say, I just have to accept I never get to play with that character? The whole point of the game is accessibility. Have fun with it. Let them have the character, but at a slower rate. Like it used to be, Wales got the character just faster. Free to play got the character just slower. It took the free to play 9 months to get or a year to get, and it took the whales immediately to get, or in a week or a month to get. It used to be that money bought you access sooner or instantly, whereas otherwise it took you 9 months to a year to access. And now it's evolved into this thing where money only gets you the character, and it costs you 3,000 to get them, and you can't use them for 3 months. It's still a ticket to 3-month window. And then free to play, you may never, ever get that character. And that's just craziness. I think their accessibility to aspects of the game need to be looked at. And then the balance of Grand Arena and the playability, viability of some of the PvE needs to be looked at.
All right. Let's see here. All right. What else? 73 has a question for you, Nev. Let's see here. Question: when do you think they'll do the next relic increase into where? 9, 12, 45?
Well, just to quickly go back to your first question, for early free to play, they simple request to make things better for free to play. Bring back credit heist every 5 to 10. Stop doing it once a month. Do it once a week.
I know it's really gotten like
credit for early free to play. That first 12 months, you hit credit crunches all the time. I have a credit crunch. So credit heist would be nice because you don't always get the 5, 7.5, 10 or 20 million. 9 times out of 10, you get the 4 million. So credit heist once a week. But regarding the what else question, I don't think they'll do the. I don't think they'll do the relic increase until after. I don't know how soon or how long after they introduce the new raid, the ship raid, but it'll be after they introduce the new ship raid, because just like when they introduced the Sith raid and it was really, really tough, and we had to work really, really hard on the whole theory crafting. Well, not all of us, but there were members of the community that worked, tirelessly. to come up with really, really good squads in order to do that. I think that based on the way that they've done GOTB, both light side and dark side, they're going to make the ship raid so unbelievably impossible that it'll be like, but hey, don't worry, here's relics 8 to 14 for you guys. Do that to your crew, and it'll make the crew in your ship so OP that it'll make the ship raid really, really easy. So I think it's coming, but it won't be until after they do the ship raid.
Yeah. All right. Next question to KP67s. The says this question: how do you think CG will implement the tickets for GL? What do you think is most likely? A personal raid with many tries each ticket and like 15 shards? Or you have to get a bunch of tickets and one-time unlock?
I think it's going to be more along the lines. I know you guys discussed this, I think, on Wednesday when you guys were talking about the tickets, or at least Finn did, I think, and he brought up personal raids. And
yeah,
I think that's probably where it's. Yeah, I know. I remember. But I think it's going to be along the lines of like a personal raid. People have been asking for like a personal style raid or a new raid type thing. So instead of releasing a guild-wide raid, why not give us a personal raid that we can, quote unquote, approach at our own pace, end quote. I think the tickets will be gained just like how you would gain tickets otherwise. It's just going to be maybe not 30,000 tickets to open up, the personal raid, but, let's just say they do 600 a day, just like the way you get 600 currently for your guild. Then maybe after 5 days, you can open it up after 3,000 tickets or 5,000 tickets, right? Like you spend a week collecting tickets, and then you can open the raid. A week to collect tickets, you open the raid, right? So that's how I think it might go.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting thought. We all know there's supposed to be, that new big raid coming, but a personal raid would be interesting. And it would kind of do a double. It would hit on the double standard of we're wanting more new stuff, and then like, oh, here you have to do this for the new, the newest shiny, so to speak. But then they also said the tickets are going to be the way they worded it. They said we'd be able to get them every day. It wasn't guaranteed. So I feel like we're going to be able to farm. We're going to farm them somehow. They're probably going to be put in maybe a hard node similar to when the relic materials. So it might be similar to that, where it has a 1 in a 1,000,000% chance to drop.
I mean, there's just so much shit badness that it just infuriates me. The more and more I just think about possibilities with this, and just want to tell CG to
I wish they would just get it over it. We still have 2 more announcements about the requirements. It's like, you've already done the damage. We know it's terrible requirements.
I know.
You don't need to keep poking us and stabbing us over and over. Just get it over with.
They're just shooting us in the kneecaps. They just keep shooting us in the kneecaps, and they're just like, I want to shoot you in the head now, but it's not going to happen.
No, they're just...
The reason why they wait is because they want everyone to spend on the previous requirements first, and so they wait until everyone's who's going to spends, and then they'll release on the next requirements, wait for everyone to spend on those, and then release on the next requirements. So it's incremental sales, so you just have to wait till everyone's done spending.
You also have the people that are just waiting. There's still people hoarding everything, waiting, like, which path do we want to go, because you're comparing the requirements, and right now it's currently higher for the first order, so that's kind of pushing some people towards the resistance, because it's not as high right now, but that's why we keep telling people,
I could switch on a dime.
There's still 2 more sets, just wait for it, it's going to even out.
Oh my god,
it's just brutal.
It's so brutal. It's brutal enough that we have to go through just this sheer monstrosity of gear to get these characters. Or your point is so valid about like getting a character to Relic 7 is no joke, right? And then on top of that, they cock block us again with these tickets. I don't care how good the raid is. I mean, this is a new character that you had to bust your ass with doing other stuff in the game to get the gear, whether you buy it or not. But especially from a free-to-play perspective of, trying to farm this. It's just brutal. And then say, oh, well, that's step one of many steps that led to the characters being reliced. Now you have to get these stupid tickets to do this personal raid, which means I hope it's a one-time unlock. I really do, because if it's not and it's piecemeal, that's just going to be even more brutal, because it's like you have to do the event over and over again to get tickets and then get the character. It's like,
oh, like if we had to get shards, like if the event only drops like 5 shards at a time.
Lord.
Oh God.
I didn't even think about
CG
that. That would just be like, oh my God. I mean, they wouldn't do that, right?
Right? Like, yeah, like CG wouldn't give us another mode to just bash our heads in constantly, right? They wouldn't do that. No.
I mean, because it's, oh jeez. I don't even want to go on this train of thought anymore.
I have done it already for you, Jedi Master Dasher. It leads to a pathway to abilities some consider to be unnatural. So, yeah, just don't do it. You just,
yeah, we'll find out in what, 2 months, a month, however long it takes them to finally.
March right around the corner. We're gonna see. See, unless they delay it. But yeah,
I was gonna say they keep pushing things back, so it wouldn't surprise me if this didn't drop until like May, given how they just keep pushing stuff.
All right, apropos ruin. Next question for you, Jedi Master Dasha. It says, question: does anyone remember when we went to GOT just for fun? I've been ignoring new content just to find fun. I think he meant SWGOH, just for fun. Okay. Like GOT. Game of Thrones. Like, what are you talking about? I think he meant SWGOH, but,
oh, okay. It's like, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, I think a lot of people have this. Is like, I've been feeling this lately. We've been doing the same repetitive stuff for a while now. Lightside GOTV we just talked about, but like, you know, GAC, it's repetitive.
And it's just like the same stuff over and over. I mean, like, we have a lot to do. We definitely do have a lot, but some of it is just kind of the same thing, you know? So like GAC, you know, they have a lot they could do with that to kind of make it more exciting, to change it up, you know, do bonuses or make each zone different. They could do a bunch of things to spice that up for people, because some people, they're just facing the same opponents over and over, you know, depending where you're at in your bracket and, you know, your GP, top GP and all that. Some people they get a lot of the same opponents, because if you move at the same rate, you'll still have a chance to get matched with that person, because so if they could at least just change that up, I think that would help the enjoyment in general. Because I know that's a mode that a lot of people look forward to, because it's your own thing. You can do whatever you want. You know, you can do hard defense, cheese defense, whatever defenses you want. There's like no pressure except your own. And then, but it's also TW and GA. They need to kind of overhaul it just for the brackets, because the GP is just getting bigger and bigger as we get more stuff here. And even eventually when we get the Galactic Legends, the gap is going to become even bigger. So isn't the cutoff for Division 1, isn't it like, is it 4.5?
Yeah. And then
so yeah, they could get back with, you know, like a 6 mil, depending on how things play out.
5.6 or something, you know. I don't know.
They need to create a new one for GAC.
Exactly.
They need to create one above Division 1 that is like, you know, the Premier League. You know, you've got a Division 1. They need to create a Premier League with, you know, that all of the people that are going to get both the Galactic Legends, so that they can literally and give them like stupid rewards. You know, make it stupid. You know, make the rewards OP, but separate that separate that point of the spear that CG are creating at the moment, because it used to be a tip of the spear. Now they're creating with Galactic Legends a point of the spear. So just give the point of the spear their own league, call it the Premier League, and let them compete against each other. And then everybody else below that isn't going for GL and that is just, you know, regular playing people and, you know, not spending 5 digits a year on this game can, you know, have some fun with GAC. Because I can tell you, anybody that's not got these characters and that ends up in in Division 1 that ends up going up against an account that's got one of these GLs is going to be instantly frustrated, because it's going to be like when Malak first came out and people would just put Darth Revan and Malak in defense, and if you didn't have Darth Revan and Malak, that's it, round over. They get put in defense, forget about it, you ain't getting past them. It's just, pointless. And you'll look at your GAC and you'll be like, great, I was really looking forward to this, and now I physically can't win. That's what it's going to be like with GLs and the guys at the tippy top of Division 1.
And somebody who is a whale that's just starting is going to see these two characters and go, oh, I see the future of the game. It's these two characters. And so they're going to buy strictly only just these two characters and every character that they have to get for just these two characters, and then maybe Revan, Darth Revan, and just the characters for Gas. So they're going to basically have an account that has Revan, Darth Revan, Gas, the characters associated with those characters, and then these two GLs, and that's all they're going to have. And they're going to be like a 2.2 million account or 2.5 million account, and that's what they're going to have as their 2.5 million
with crap mods.
And they're going to have crap mods, but they're going to be
that's true.
They're going to be invincible at that level, because everyone else at 2.5 is going to have like a bunch of purple gear 11s,
right?
And you're like, what are these characters I'm facing? What is this guy in red that keeps popping backwards? What is this guy in blue that keeps sitting down on his knees while his guys keep throwing bombs? It's like,
what's a CLS team?
God. All right. Next question. This is kind of there's kind of two questions from Sedge here, so one's a simple one, and we'll get one's more in depth to you, Warrior. First one that says from the Sedge is question: what total GP would a guild need to complete Lightside GOTB? I think it's over 900 million at this point. Am I wrong on that, Warrior?
Yeah. It's
like I think we did 600 million or something like that.
It was.
Because I know it's 400 million GP. I think you need 400 GP just in characters or ships, something crazy like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, we almost did 32 stars, and we were.
You're talking about Dark Side JOTB, 32 stars or Light Side?
Yeah, Light Side 32.
Really?
And we needed to.
I think you're thinking Dark Side.
Oh, maybe I am thinking of Dark Side.
The Light Side, yeah.
I was like, "There's no way! What the hell, man?
When did you do this?" I was like, "That's impressive, Warrior."
You're not even in the game.
That's how good Warrior is. He's not playing the game anymore. He got 32 stars Light Side.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Batman's by himself.
Oh no!
He's so cabber.
It's like 3 times what the current guild GP is right now. So it's ridiculous. It's exorbitantly high.
Yeah, it's one of those numbers you just look at like, yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. I'm even looking at like Maul, TI, guilds like that that I'm just.
Yeah, I was trying to find. There was a post about that compared the insanity, because when Darkside TV came out, you're like, it was pretty high threshold, and then when this came out, someone posted a comparison. It's insane. So, I mean, the 900 mil is probably
I
wasn't
far off. Yeah, I was just spitball in there, little stuff. The other question for you, Warrior, from the Sedge has question: what's the best way to climb without Malak to get through Padme, Jedi Revan, Darth Revan, What's the best way to climb without Malak to get through Padme, Jedi Revan, Darth Revan? What team is best to climb with Darth Revan, no Malak, Padme Shakti, or General Grievous? So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so what I did was I used Revan to get through all of that, because that's what I mean, Revan is one of the most accessible early on characters. You really need Revan anyway to get your own Malak down the road, and he's kind of the first step before Darth Revan anyway. And so I used a Revan team. Revan teams can go first because there's a lot of speed accessibility in that team with the extra 30 speed, and then you can still beat some teams with Malak even if they have a Malak, so you can still get through some of those Malak teams, but you can also avoid Malak teams, kind of like the plague if you want to go around them and whatnot. But Padme teams are easy to beat with Revan teams. Other Revan teams are easy to beat, and you can do some substitutions to make it even easier. And I have some videos on that. In fact, one of the last series of videos I did was specifically how to take a Revan team and beat basically everything in the meta. And so I have like 3 videos: how to do Revan versus Revan, how to do Revan versus Padme, and how to do Revan versus droid teams. And so there's 3 videos from about, I don't know, 2 months ago. If you go on my channel and just scroll back a couple months, you'll see there's an entire series of videos on literally how to take a Revan team and how to just dismantle the current meta, the diverse meta that is kind of what is out there that's floating around. And then there is some Darth Revan teams that I dismantled as well, because Darth Revan's out there, and there's different types of Darth Revans. And so on the video, I go against Darth Revan without Malak, with Malak, ones that have, that are faster, ones that I kind of get the jump on, ones that I don't get the jump on. So you can kind of see the varying types of teams and whatnot. So I used my Revan team to just basically beat up on everything and climb through everything. Sometimes it was ugly and I would win even when it was ugly, and other times it was a slaughter fest on my end. So it's just one of those things. You kind of stick with a team, you learn all the caveats of what you can beat, what you can't, and then you kind of avoid certain teams that are out modding you. So
all right, let's see here. Next question, we'll go to you, Nav. Give me a second here. All right. Sith Lord 72 says, question, what ships do you think we'll need for the finalizer? Sith ships? What are your thoughts?
All of them.
It'll be random. It'll be something.
It'll be all the Sith ships.
First Order and a bunch of ships we don't even know we needed.
It'll be all the it'll be all the First Order ships.
Yeah, so shuttle, slicer, special forces.
And then the two TIE fighters, the silencer, and the one that's Phasma's ship. So it'll be those 4.
Ebon Hawk.
And then it'll be 3 completely and utterly random ships that most people don't farm for. Right. So just
prepare yourself.
Just pick 3. It's gonna be a mirror of the Radis event. Yeah. So just pick 3 extra random dark side ships that you're gonna need. It's probably gonna be like Vader.
No, that's too easy. That's way too easy. Vader? No.
Watch it be Geo Spy.
Or Sunfac. Yeah. It's just gonna be 3 random dark side ships.
Houndstooth
not a lot
too.
of people have invested in.
Or Houndstooth. They'll throw Houndstooth in there. Like, you can use Houndstooth for everything. Like, yay!
Just throw in IG. They threw in the Houndstooth, so this time they'll throw in another bounty of the ship. The one that's the pain in the arse to farm, which is
oh my God.
Xanadu Blood. Xanadu Blood's the worst of the bounty.
Emperor Shuttle. We'll throw the Emperor Shuttle in there. Why not?
Yes, Emperor Shuttle.
It's just awful. All right. Next question, we'll go to you, KP67s. From the Sedge question, how are the relationships through marquee or tickets, or what do you think? Well, we know what they did with the Radis, but for like regular ships, I think they're still going to be marquee. What do you think, KP67s?
For regular ships, like regular ships?
Yeah, just regular ships are going to start introducing. I still think it's going to be the marquee path.
It will probably. They like their either marquee path or they like the Galactic Chase.
Yeah,
they use both of those very frequently between EP Shuttle and Hyena for the Galactic Chase, and then for the marquee, what was it? BTLB. That was a marquee. Also, Anakin was a marquee. You would be safe to go either or, and it just depends on how they feel. If they want it relatively more accessible, like Hyena, then they'll go Galactic Chase, and if they want you to pay out of the butt, it'll be marquee.
All right. Next question for JMA. Let's see here. Oh, hey, Cavalcante. I'll go to that one next. But what else? 23 says, question, do you think they'll do further upgrades buffs to the Generation 1 characters? We've had this discussion before. Good old Mace and the rest. Right? Yeah. That's
on the Jedi.
How are you feeling about that rework, Jedi Master Adastra?
Yeah, Isn't that Mace rework amazing,
I
guys?
know, just so good. So good.
I'm hoping now that Clone Wars dropped, we'll start seeing some of that. But as far as the other ones, they would need kind of a reason for it. So like this one, they could because of the Clone Wars tie-in and with the new season that just dropped. So they could fit that in. But for the other ones, they would need a, like, I guess a theme to kind of even think about doing it. Like, I don't even know what's on their radar anymore.
I don't
To be
either.
honest.
It ain't
They're
Jedi.
kind of just-
They left him in the dust, Adasha. That's just criminal.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, like they're also keep in mind they've been kind of lazy with their reworks. They just released a character that just completely revamps everything, like Radis, right?
Mhm.
The Resistance ships without Radis are garbage ships, straight up.
Well,
Poe is
pretty-
good.
Yeah.
Poe's good, absolutely. But like Rey's Millennium Falcon, right? Come on,
Not the best.
but not the best. But then Radis shows up and she's like, "Oh, let's just give you guys like 40 offense and 75% extra protection."
And
Suddenly it's like,
force
oh,
side
Yeah,
all the
now
time.
she's one-shotting everything.
Yeah, a little buff goes a long way.
Yeah, Radis
You
is
know,
like
so-
a relic for those ships.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
And the same thing happened with when you read the kit for Kiadi Monday. He'll take your handful of support Jedi who would
Too
otherwise
soon,
be
man.
useless.
Too soon.
No offense to Dastra, but the garbage support Jedi, like Eve Koth, right? Eve Koth could become a monster. He could very well become a monster, but under Kiadi.
Right. So, the things CG does to us. All right. Hoey Calvacanti says,
We'll see.
We'll see. He says, question, did you hear the legend of Darth Omega the Whale? It's a YouTube history and Twitch. They don't know him. Guys who made, but are his videos really reliable? I have no idea who that is and stuff, so I have no idea.
He's actually he's posted some pretty fun stuff.
I'll have to check him out. Yeah.
Yeah, I
He's
don't
got
know
some
how
really
long
good
he's been
videos.
around, but someone had posted he did a Jedi one.
Oh,
So,
well,
he
you
got
have to go
posted
check that
for
out.
it.
Be careful, though. He's got the
Yeah,
Darth
he
title.
does all kinds of these different theory crafts. It was mainly for Arena at first, but I think he's branching out to splitting teams for Grand Arena. But yeah, that's some pretty interesting stuff. Like, it's
Okay.
pretty cool. It's always fun to see off the wall theory crafts
Sure.
of everything that we have. So
Absolutely.
good to try other things.
All right, let's see here. Last question for War, because our good friend Warrior has to go, but we'll give him a nice one here. From What Else 73, question for you Warriors says, do you think they'll do further upgrade buffs? No, we just did that one. Where I just lost my damn thing just redid. God damn it. Hold on. Stupid ass thing. All right, so here it is. Buzzsaw VG for you, War. Question: since light side GOTB is so obviously tiered for something we don't have, what do you predict will come next? Mods, levels, or more relics?
Well, I don't think the relic tier increase will happen before mods, crazily enough. I do believe you guys are going to see mods 6D next. I do think you're going to see that within the next 6 months. And those were actually already in the developer slash, I still had an account back in the day. They actually fed those to us, including the parts to level up mods. And then they were like, just don't, use those, please. And there were the parts to level the mods up from E to higher than E. So, but that's a thing that they have kept kind of compressed. The same thing with level cap increase. And the reason is when you raise the level from 85 to 90, all of a sudden all the stats go up, and that stat modifiers, and those stat modifiers go through the roof, and it's crazy stat increases, which they decided to go with relics instead, which was fine. But initially they were planning on going to level 100, and so that was cool because level 100 would have done similar things to what relics do, but relics gave them a chance to kind of balance power a little more finite than just raising that. And plus the level, they were able to monetize the relics better than just raising the cap. So for them, it made them more money. And instead of just, taking out our credits, it gave them a chance to like totally and completely make way more money than just raising the cap. But mods are a problem. It's a huge both perceived problem and actual problem in the game. It's not going to fix the problem by going to mods 6D, but it will be a perceived fix by the community. So the community will embrace it and will spend a lot of money on it. And so that will be the next thing. That'll be a significant push, I think, by them to, empower you guys to be able to roll those mods. Just like you roll your other mods from E to D, you'll be able to push these with pieces from 6E to 6D, which will make those characters with those really good mods even better, by rolling those really good mods that you have even better, which will be pretty cool, but it'll obviously cost money to get those
It's
pieces,
Friday.
and they'll drop
My mods
very
ain't got
rarely
$5,
those items in
and
the highest
they ain't
end
rolling no
content,
speed.
and I doubt there'll be new content, so they'll
XO68
probably
cheered.
put it exclusively in,
X124.
the highest end content only. So you'll probably get just very very little of it in like dark side GOTB, things like that, or light side GOTB, or maybe Grand Arena Championships, at the very highest end. So thanks for having me on, you guys. Appreciate it. As always, you guys have a good rest of the last hour.
Yep, and make sure you check
Have
out
a good
Warrior's
one.
channel. It's linked down below in the description. So thanks for joining us for this Saturday morning Warrior. Have a good day selling millions of dollars of mattress merchandising.
Cheerio, Governor.
Yeah, as always. Later.
All right.
Warrior out.
All right. Next question for the Nev. Let's see here. Let's see. Jedi Gunny 1216 for you, Nev, says question: if we need Radis finalizer for GL, should assumption be they need to be 7 stars? Basically, I'll need to wait a year for GLs. It's looking more and more like that.
I mean, everything is subject to change, of course. So don't believe anything that they put in the forum posts from now until the end of time.
No,
whenever they put subject to change, that means that they're going to change it, and that you shouldn't believe a word they say. So just like they said, not all of the characters are going to need to be relicked. Don't believe them if they say, oh, you're only going to need a 5-star ship, or you're only going to need a 6-star ship. You're going to need it 7-star.
Yeah.
So yeah. And
none of that, but they're going to say the new characters are going to be needed, and they're going to probably be like Relic 5, and you're just going to yeah. So between that and the new capital ships, with all the regular ships, they might introduce, like, you need all the First Order ships, and you're going to need the new capital ship as part of this event. It's just like,
I'm gonna go out on a limb and throw. I'm gonna go out on a limb and throw CG one tiny little bone. It's a wishbone, really.
Is it a mini bone?
It's a mini bone. But I think that they're doing. I think that there's somebody on the inside that has been secretly saying, "Crap, this is really really bad. Let's do it with First Order and Resistance, because there isn't a lot of investment in emotional investment from the community in Resistance and First Order as there is with original trilogy and Clone Wars era. So let's do all of this crappy stuff with the First Order and the Resistance first, to give everybody time. Now they know what to expect from Galactic Legends. It gives everybody time to build up their rebels, build up their empire, build up their Galactic Republic, and build up their Separatists, because Galactic Republic and Separatists are already being built up through the GOTB. And the light side and the rebels and the Empire are probably going to get naturally built up for the ship raid, because it's going to be, it's a foregone conclusion. Doesn't matter what puzzles or what they say, it's going to be a Death Star raid, and a Death Star raid's going to need rebel ships, and you're going to be fighting. So I think that somebody has been, a little worm in EA's ear and CG's ear, saying, look, no one in the community is going to like this, so let's do it with the least favorable faction so that everybody can get ready for the factions that they actually care about, which is Galactic, Republic, and Empire. Original trilogy and Clone Wars era.
All right. Next question to you, KP67s. Well, first of all, let me answer this one from Revenus. This question: has anyone heard from our bestest buddy in the whole freaking galaxy, Urban Blaster, the Disaster Master, recently? I mean, we didn't finish still in touch with him, but not recently. No, I mean he's still busy with life. I still know he plays the game, but his content he just doesn't have the time. So, but he's still really going. He's going strong out there in TV. In his world out there in freaking Colorado. You know what I'm best place to live in the whole freaking world. All right, let's see here. Your question is from Brian Bode, KP67s, and he says, question, and is anyone else worried that Cruel Ship will be devalued as more relics come out? My 7-star BLT got one shot in Lightside GOTB, and the ship and GK is maxed. What do you think on that there, KP67s?
I think I missed the beginning of the question. What was it?
It says, why are you not paying attention when Ranger's taking the time to read the question, dickhole?
Well, Nev mentioned Empire, and I just had to go take a look at the
Yeah, you're like, dun,
Woo,
dun,
Empire.
dun, 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 dun. Okay. Brian Bode, question, is anyone else worried that Cruel Ship will be devalued as more relics come out? My 7-star... I think he's kind of combining crew and stuff like that. My 7-star BLT got one shot in Lightside GOTB, and the ship in GK is maxed. What do you think?
Huh.
I don't think it will be.
I don't think so. I mean,
if you're comparing it with Lightside GOTB, understand you're going to get slaughtered.
yeah.
Random chance of it.
Crewless ships will be devalued as more relics.
Well, he didn't write it like that. He wrote it as Cruels.
Oh, okay.
He was trying to be.
I think it was.
Yes.
I had to scroll up, and I'm like, oh, there it is. So, actually, well, again, like Ned said, take what CG says with a grain of salt. But CG did say they did buff crewless ships up to try to match a Relic 7.
Mm-hmm.
And when you actually look at like a 7-star Hyena, it is comparable to a Relict Biggs, a Relict Houndstooth. It's comparable in terms of its defense, its H&P, everything else that a tank would need. So the issue here is that you're talking about the Lightside GOTB, where you could have a 7-star G13 Relic 7 tank like 5s, and he dies in your opening volley, and you're like, well, crap.
Things happen.
So yeah, exactly. So when you're comparing to LSTV, I think that thing is just so power crept up to like infinity that everything's going to look like garbage. So I think that if you were to compare it, take a look in your arena, take a look in TW, take a look in GAC, see how the tank handles itself. If it handles itself well, which Hyena handles itself very well, Houndstooth obviously handles itself well. Biggs at R, Relic 3, Relic 4, Relic 5 is actually pretty tanky. He does his job very well once he gets to relics. You'll notice that everybody is more or less like on the same level playing field. Yeah. So
right.
I don't think crewless ships lose anything.
And on that same note, too, the crewless ships, it allows less resources for a very good ship, too. So like you were just saying, the Hyena, there's some maxed ones in my arena, and that ship is very tanky for having no crew. It takes a while to burst it down. So, and then the same with the 7-star VTL, the Y-Wing. It's the same thing. Once that's maxed out, when it's in the right combination now. So I feel like that one alone, nothing is gonna ever be better than the Houndstooth. Nothing. That ship, whoever made that ship, whatever they were thinking, they made it too good. Like there's literally never ever gonna be a better tank ship than that one. So it always gets plugged in every single comp. And then people will use it and one of the crewless ships, for instance. I've seen.
I mean, even CG's recommended comps, they're like Houndstooth. I didn't know if you knew that this guy was a tank, but Houndstooth is supposed to work pretty good with the Radis. I mean, I don't know. It could work. Give it a try, guys.
Yeah, honestly, it could go anywhere because it's so good. Like, it's literally the plug and play of ships. Like, it's just, if you want to have a chance of defending, put Houndstooth there in your arena. If you want a chance, but it doesn't matter if you're facing, like my fleet arena. It doesn't matter what we put there. It's so brutal, but there's only so much you can do with the crewless ships because of that. But I honestly think they did a good job, despite it, that they did give them some good stats to make up for not having a crew. And again, it's easier on the resources. You just gotta farm the shards, and you don't have to worry about gearing and relicking anyone. So it's they actually did decent as far as that, I guess.
All right, next question to you. Jedi Master Dastra says, this is from, let's see, Belrit Papichulo says, question, why is the community so powerless in holding CG accountable for their poor decision-making and lack of community service? Example, not fixing their bugs, along with many, many more. Well, we just talked about the Jedi's not.
Yeah, I was like, do you want me to go on another rant?
Well, keep it a little. Let's. I'm kind of interested if the panel wants to jump on this question as well. We'll start with EJMA. What are your thoughts on this question?
Yeah, it's just becoming increasingly frustrating. Like, we know who's at the helm, so he's he's probably mostly to blame for their path. Like, say what you will about Carrie, but at least we had a decent path. Now it's just way worse than it's ever been, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, just, the packs. Like, okay, yeah, I get it. You want to make money? Sure, of course. Any game would want to continue to profit. But they've made $1 billion, and the game is still bugged. Still so many bugs that other games you would think they would prioritize, like, oh, your buttons are disappearing? We'll get right on that, because we know that's frustrating when you're trying to play our game and you literally can't. So you would think that would be like a priority one fix, just so people could play the game. And then, I'm just going to touch on it slightly, their newest content, the TV, is bugged. This one of the
Every
most
TV has been bugged.
missions is bugged. Yeah, everything. Like, it's honestly not even a running joke anymore because it's a fact now. Like, you used to joke, oh, the newest thing is going to have some kind of bug, right? Because it's CG. But now it's actual fact because every single thing they've done, there's been a bug or a nerf or a change or something was interacting wrongly. Like General Skywalker. Oh, we messed up with the latest update. Oh, we're just going to leave it this way.
It's not a problem.
Why not?
It's not really having any effect from the data we're seeing. Like, what data are you looking at, man?
I am honestly baffled by it. Like, any other job, any company, like, people would get fired over just constantly releasing broken content. But they continue to do it and get away with it. Like, no big deal, guys. No big deal.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Makes no sense. I mean, we all still play it, so I guess that maybe spurs them on. Like, despite the bug 1, 2, 3, 1,000, there's still all these people playing our game, but it's just, I just don't get it. Like, just on a professional level,
I agree with that.
Would care to we want to give you the best working game we can.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you only have one coder, I'm sure you could afford more than one. Come on. Like, I don't know what it is. I really don't.
Yeah, they don't communicate and give us, any kind of sense of what's happening over there. So all we can do is speculate. And when you have bad things happening and you have no real response for it, you are left with negative interpretations because you have nothing to fall back onto. You can't even defend them because they give you nothing to defend them with. I mean, when I rant on CG, it's mainly because they say nothing. And we're left with this dumpster fire. And
hey now, we got Q&A art, man. We got Q&A art.
Well,
did you submit your question?
Do you know how long it takes to smooth out the new Jedi Rey's like chin and like, you know, make sure her curls are like appropriately curved around 30-degree angles. I mean, that's going to be the talk of the town, man. Just wait till next week. Just wait.
It's a little.
Hey, you don't need to hate on the art. I mean, art there's some pretty cool
No.
stuff.
So,
But
yeah, the
for
art's
this to-
great, but
I
it's
swear, with this Q&A coming up, I mean, I know for a fact there's gonna be
9,000 questions on the art because they don't want to answer the tough questions. Yeah, this is
But
what
you know
they do.
what? And you know what? I just to kind of chime in with this. I also played Marvel Strike Force at the same time, right? And I know everybody's like, "Oh, Marvel Strike Force, it's garbage."
none of that on this
right?
channel, Mister.
No. This is just the comparison.
Okay.
So recently, they had all their whale guilds come out and say, "Hey, we're going on a spending boycott." And I know that we, as a community, have done a spending boycott back. Remember what was it called? The Citadel pack.
Yeah.
Right? Where you had to drop like $50 for 5 shards or some shit. Right? Sorry, excuse me language.
No, please.
And like, you know, like everybody banded together and then they were like, okay, we're not going to spend. That died immediately when Darth Nihilus dropped. Everybody's like, oh my god, we need Nihilus annihilate. Like the boycott was forgotten. And CG didn't even respond to the boycott. They didn't even acknowledge it. They barely said sorry, basically. Like, we're going to try to do better to communicate. And that's all they did. Marvel Strike Force. So the whale guilds dropped this whole boycott thing that they're like, okay, we're going to boycott because there's so many issues with the game. 24 hours later, there was a massive Reddit post from the community managers, which they have 2 of, who are constantly on Reddit. And it outlined every single thing that the developers were like, hey, we know that you have a problem with this, but actually, here's the fix that we're planning. Here's what's coming. We're outlining everything. Then they put in a blog post which said, okay, guys, we understand that there's been a lot of contention about this, but here is our plan. We're putting it all out there for you. Like, please bear with us, basically. And the boycott is still going on, but there's still a lot of people being like, wow, like, that was really nice. Like, it feels good getting information and knowing where their headspace is at.
Right.
Whereas
Yeah,
with
but
us,
there's a big difference between Fox Nest, Marvel Strike Force, and Star Wars. Star Wars has been around for 4 years. Capital Games knows it's got the legs, so they know that they can, for all intents and purposes, treat the community in a disrespectful way. To put it, to be diplomatic. Marvel Strike Force has only been around for just over a year. It needs legs. So, like SWGOH was during those early days, very community. Bringing all of the game changers to the studios to look at stuff and being communicative with them and talking to the community and getting involved with all of the game changers. That's where Marvel Strike Force is now. If Marvel Strike Force is around 4 years from now,
maybe we get
guarantee you that they'll be like, oh well, we've hooked them in. We've got the community in. They're going to keep playing. They're going to keep coming back. We can be as open or as closed as we are with our communications as we want, because people are invested in this game for 4 years now. So it doesn't matter what we do, what we say, how little or how much we say, the community is going to sit there and take it.
Yeah. I mean,
because that's what we're doing. We are sitting here
though,
and we're taking it because we love Star Wars.
Yeah.
But yeah, that if only, I don't know how it could be done. We'd have to kind of just organize everyone together, because we outnumber them big time. We just need like some designated leaders that can maybe communicate appropriately with CG, but I don't know if that would do any good. It's like, hey guys, seriously, there's, especially just on the standpoint of the bugs, like, come on guys, just at least fix this. And
unfortunately, because we're such a big community and we're spread so far and wide, we are all talk and very little action. There are little niches. We tried the Return to Hoth. Me and Paul tried that, and it worked a little bit, and then certain people try other things, and it works a little bit. it would take a monumental effort for every single content creator, every single major, influencer within this community to come together and say, this is the one action we need to do. And
it's also the spending. There's a lot of those big spenders out there that are helping too. So if just for like a week or 2 weeks, like literally no one spent anything, maybe they would take notice of that. But again, it's hard to say and stuff like this because it's a game. So it's like it's completely voluntary to play or not play. So it's
or
just,
spend or not spend, right? Like,
exactly. So it's just frustrating though that we all love it. We're here, we're talking about it. We have a good community. But it's just really frustrating that it's some pride in your work, people. Come on.
It's an EA thing. Grim knows a bit about the EA thing. I know a bit about the EA thing because EA totally screwed over gamers in Europe regarding lots of EA stuff. But the GL thing, they've created tiers of spenders so that they can monitor and watch the metrics and see how much they make so that they can see how hard they can push the community. Now they've created a point of the spear metric, so they'll be able to monitor and watch how much the tip of Krakens spend in order to prepare for GL, and that'll be like, right, okay, so this percentage of the community will go this far, this percentage of the community will go this far, and so on and so forth, all the way down to free to play. They don't care about free to play anymore. Let's be honest. I'm not saying free to play is dead. I'm saying CG does not care about free to play anymore. They care about the tiers of people, from Dolphin up to Mega Kraken, Leviathans, that spend, and they're just that this is that final tier, that 100k a year, that 50 to 100k a year tier that's going to fork out for every new GL duo every single year that they bring out. If those people, if those accounts haven't already, massively cracking now on the characters necessary for those GLs anyway.
All right. We got a new person in here. We got Clash joining us. Clash, what's going on, brother? Clash?
Or did he run away?
Clash! He'll save every one of us.
He's currently muted.
Clash?
Oh, now he's off. He was on, then off.
Wait, Clash?
We see you.
You're there. Well,
you're not a smuggler, bro. We see you.
But I only had one baby. He said the next time it'd be just the tip, and he lied. We ended up with it. We ended up with two
going
babies.
off on a ramp there.
XO68 cheered. X126.
Did a grande thing in my ear, so everybody you guys don't hear unless you listen to the string, but I just got grande. All right, so we'll go to you, Nav. I'll wait till Clash. Clash, as soon as you hear this, get your butt back in here. Question for Nev from Buzzsaw VG says, what about the ability to pick a heist weekly in addition to the scheduled ones instead of mandating it as a credit heist?
Choice is not. Being able to choose it would be nice, but it's an easy event that they can just put in once every 5 days or once a week. I think. Look, to be honest with you, I think that the credit heist and the other heist for the robot for the upgrading robot droids, I don't really think that they're needed. Credits are needed more than that. I don't see why they don't do that once a week. They can have that as a set event once a week. It would, curry favor with the free-to-play community because they don't do bugger all for the free-to-play community right now. So that's an easy win. That's an easy win over for early game free-to-play community. Lots and lots of credits once a week. I don't think it needs to be chosen. Just set it. Mandate it once a week.
There you go.
Okay, is that better?
There he is. Clash.
There he is.
Hey, sorry,
Clash. He'll save every one of us.
First time using this on a phone. Yeah. Cool. Thanks. Sorry about that. I've been listening for the last 20 minutes. So.
Well, yeah, I was trying to get you in, and then we were kind of covering that, and then I was going to bring you in on it, and then you didn't answer. I'm like, Damn it.
No, sorry. I have nothing more to add. You guys covered it very well.
Okay.
You need to step it up.
All right. Darstein 1972 says over under on the number of set questions this next Q&A. Also, can Archie create a drinking game around the art questions? Yes, we can do both of those, and I think it's going to be.
Yeah, make sure if you ask a question to word it like an art question,
Yes,
and maybe it'll get in there.
So about the art, I have a question. Why do you guys suck at communicating? Thanks.
Hey, about Django's burning animation during the cam mission, we were just wondering why artistically it didn't make sense to include the little flame that pops up.
And why is it not working correctly? Your thoughts. All right, we'll go to you, Clash, next. Darsign 1972 question. What should CG do to repair the credibility issue they have continued to damage with the players? It's been a big issue.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of what you guys were just saying, right? I mean,
but so what could they do about it? So we talked about what they have not been doing in our frustrations, right? So what are some of the things that they could do? Well, for me, I'll start off by saying, I don't know, quit lying, integrity. I'm just going to throw that out there. But what are your thoughts on this, Clash? It's kind of a broad subject, but what are your thoughts on what they could do?
Yeah, I think for me, they would have to give us Beckett as a character, first of all.
Beckett. All right, write this down. Step 1, Beckett. Okay, we got Beckett. Okay.
That's a quick fix, right? Hey, that's
Step 3, make profit. All right, we're getting somewhere now here. So.
Yeah, let's get the immediate stuff out of the way. Give us Beckett. Sure. Give us Hondo if you're being generous. Okay.
Mace, don't forget Mace.
Rework Mace. Yeah, and put that on the bucket
Mace,
list.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like the things that you're talking about have been asked for years, right? What could they do is just go look at all the things we've been requesting for the last 2 years and do them. Like there's no new thing you have to go to. Like there's so many things already in the queue that there's no communicate. I guess would be a start, but from an actual like doing something perspective, there's already a list, and they just have to start tell us what they're going to do it, and I think everyone will chill out. There's so many times I've seen them do something. I mean, if you go back and look last year and see how many things they actually accomplished, they actually did some things. And every time they did something, immediately there was a post or there was someone saying, you know what, we appreciate this. This is a good step. And they're trying to encourage CG to keep doing those things. And then it would be followed by a month or two of silence and nothing, right? So
and then bad shit would happen.
Yeah. So to me, they just have to, the volume has to be there. And there's not enough volume of them or speed to what they're doing if you want to keep people really, really engaged on things. And so, I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole, like, what you guys just talked about, but I think just go back and start doing the things we asked for, and that'll be it.
Like, just basic stuff. Fix the game. Like, we've said it before on our streams here at RC. If they announce, hey, we're taking a month or two to fix the bugs and get this game in working order with the TV and stuff like that. Right. I mean, that would be a huge step. I would be their biggest fan. Like, yeah, I'll take 2 months with no new content if you fix the game and get all the bugs squared away. Do that. Right? And if you communicate it and then say what you're going to work on afterwards. I'll be like, yeah, that works for me.
Yeah. See, the problem is well, this is where the challenge is. They have to keep the game making money. And they don't want to. They can't outright say, "Listen, we want to work on these things, but we can't because we have to keep making money." So therefore, here's how we prioritized it. So that way, the whales keep spending. It's that way. Look, it's going to suck. You guys have to deal with it. It's going to take longer than we want. It's going to take 6 months to fix these set of bugs, let alone whatever the new content we roll out is going to create. And so they have this, self-fulfilling negative feedback loop of like getting behind on these things because they just can't communicate about it. And they have to stay monetized, which, inherently is what the business is meant to do, which I get, but it's not a player friendly model.
No,
they're making tens of millions of dollars, though. We're not getting a game that's worth tens of millions of dollars. They're still making tens of millions of dollars. We're not getting a game that looks like it's tens of millions of dollars. So they can do what Rangers suggested, which is just say, okay, we'll put this on hold. We're going to fix the bugs because you guys have pumped $10 million into this game this month, but we haven't provided you with $10 million worth of solid, good bug-free content.
They're not a nonprofit. They're not going to do that. Here's the deal, though, right? Net bookings for them for the last quarter were down 6% on EA's last fiscal statement. So if you talk about like the growth of the game, it is slowing just from an EA perspective. Their mobile division is the one area that is actually going down, and Disney doesn't care. That's a blip on the radar for them, who makes like 14 billion a quarter. So they're going to milk the cow as long as they can and keep players engaged as long as they can. But people forget also, CG, they physically relocated their entire office last year at the end of the year. No one talks about that. They had a huge move of all of their people, and at the same time had to maintain all the servers and do all the things. They're in a different place than they were 4 years ago, honestly.
Well, I mean, that's fine, but like, with the community to say stuff like that, just like, I don't have to.
They can't. They can't do that because listen, the day they come out and say, yeah, listen, guys, we trimmed staff 25% because.
Well, no, that you're just moving. Like, hey, we're in a transition. We're moving to a new office. It's going to be great for us. That would be a great statement.
Well, why are you moving? Oh, well, because we don't have the need for a place that had as many. We used to have more people. Now we don't.
You can always spin it, but I mean, at least say, because then I can know what's going on with them, so that it's like, you don't have to put out the whole kitchen sink with all the dirty dishes. You can just put out hey, this is happening. We're transitioning. Okay,
yeah, we're adults, but the problem is they think as soon as they put something out like that means everyone thinks, oh, the game is dead. That means I shouldn't be spending. That means I should be looking at some other game. And that wouldn't be nothing the cow.
I think the only way that you're going to find out what's going on at CG is if you buy shares in EA,
which
I'm thinking buy shares in Disney, and then demand, as a shareholder, demand information from these subsidiary companies of the.
It's all public information. You can go out there and look at all their filings. It's all public.
Yeah, I just have to dig for it, and I ain't time for that, man. Some people do, but I got other stuff to do with my life than figure out what the hell's going on at CG in the internet world. It's like,
yeah,
Christ. All right, let's continue on. Let's see here. I've completely lost. So we just did Clash. Okay. We'll go back up top and just work our way down again. Oh, that's where we were. Okay, good. Sith Lord 72 Nav question: do you think once CG gets? No, we just did a question to you. Let me take this to KP67. Sorry, I'm a little off my game here. KP67's. Do you think once CG gets caught up with their releasing content, they will ease up on the difficulty of light side GOTB?
No.
Clash is
like
covered.
Maybe they'll finally be like, hey guys, remember that bug we were talking about like 4 months ago? Yeah, we decided to take a look at it, and we think it's working as intended. So good luck.
No, they're not. There's no easing up of. There's no moving the boot off the throat.
The only option for them right now, because they power crept everything through the roof, they're not going to nerf. They're not going to nerf the TV.
No,
it's going to be you have to get every single Galactic Legend because they're all going to have mastery manipulation, which may affect those units. So you can soften up tanks, you can weaken attackers, you can make supports not do what they're supposed to do, but you're going to need all those Galactic Legends basically. So you're going to need Galactic Legend Rey. You're going to need Galactic Legend Jedi Luke. You're going to need Galactic Legend, like, Episode 3 Kenobi. You're going to need, like, I don't know, Galactic Legend Mandalorian or Baby Yoda. Who knows?
Drinking soup. Don't forget about he's drinking soup.
Yes, exactly. His soup move, that's it.
It's over.
But you're going to need some sort of Galactic Legend to finish these off in order to actually manipulate the stats. So that way your Gear 13 Relic 7 characters can actually complete.
It's sad, but it's actually kind of true. There's a lot of truth into this, man. It just, oh lordy.
That's their solution to make it easier. That's it.
All right. Next question to you, JMA, from our friend Don Carlos. This question: do you think the First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter pilot and his ship will be required on the First Order side for Galactic Legend Kylo?
Probably. I don't see why not. They're gonna have
First Order's really lacking what Resistance is. Like, I get your thoughts on this, Jedi Master Dasha, but I was looking. I did a comparison of like what you had on the Resistance side with the new characters and their ships in total. They've got a plethora of riches. They can go a lot of different directions, right? First Order, like,
it's 9 characters, including the 2 new ones. It's like there's no ambiguity about this. Like if they're to do 3 more
that's
characters,
what I mean. Like there's far less options there.
Yeah.
So it's like
the guessing game is
probably
resistance.
every first order thing to be needed. Probably every ship and character.
No,
is gonna
100%. 100% that's going to be the case.
It's just a matter of how much relics are they going to need
Mhm.
is pretty much it.
And they will be need relics because they've gotten rid of that thing, which I thought might be when they said that some characters will not need relic was going to be the new characters. No, they're going to need relics too. So just throw them into
What
the
they
stew.
meant is not every character will need relic 7. Our bad guys.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I'm just waiting for them to introduce like the ship requirements where it's like, yes, you need the ship 7-star, but you also need it like 50k GP or something. Where it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
not
like,
only
not
do you need
only
relics,
are we
but now
gonna
you need
need-
Zetas too.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say that. It's like not only is the relic requirements, because they haven't really said about if there is a power threshold too, because they just say you need to reach these relic levels to enter the event. So maybe Zetas aren't going to be needed. But for the ships, if the ships have to reach a certain level too, because they did they say that yet or no? The ship
No,
power
not
level.
yet.
Yeah. So yeah, it might end up that way. We gotta Zeta everything. Relic
Zeta Phasma,
everything.
guys.
Mm-hmm.
Zeta
Well, there's
Phasma, Zeta FOTP, Zeta Faust, Zeta OG Kylo, Zeta them all. Zeta
there's
Rose.
there's not a lot of wiggle room when it comes to first. It's not like when they brought out the mythic of the assault battles. There was lots and lots and lots of different characters, and the theory crafters went to work on that straight away and discovered that hey, we didn't need 5 relic characters at relic 3 in order to do it. We didn't. We only needed 1 or 2, and the rest were gear 12. If that's not the case with First Order, because like you said, Ranger, there's only 9 characters, so it's not like there's a huge amount of theory crafting that's going to be doing. That the requirements that they're setting are going to be the bare minimum. You know, it's not going to be able to do it like that. They've probably geared it towards the higher end, haven't they?
Yeah. All right, a couple quick ones here. Durgan question for KP67 real quick says, how's your AIM team looking now?
So that's a Marvel Strike Force question, Durgan.
Yeah, shame on you, Durgan, now. Just, is it good or bad?
I see how it is, Durgan. No fun
good.
question for me.
It's good.
No, he just stalks you, Jedi Master Dash, so that's a whole different thing.
Hiding in the bushes.
Yeah, real quick for Dash, just this question from What Else 23. I feel like it will always be too soon for Dash when you talk about Jedi sucking.
Hey, careful. Yeah, I corrected him in there when I said that to
Yeah.
KP, because KP was talking
Duck
about
and cover,
Cam.
duck and cover,
I'm
duck
like,
and cover.
we don't have Cam yet, man. Stop it.
Oh, Lord. All right, let's get a couple for Clash here. Buzzsaw AG says, question, how much would you love the Broken Clones? Section 99, the Bad Batch. What would you think?
Oh man, that would be.
Were they not amazing?
I mean,
that first episode
they're
of Clone
awesome,
Wars
yeah.
was awesome, man. God dang, those guys were cool as shit.
Not watched it yet.
I haven't seen it either.
I just said they're good.
Spoilers, guys.
Oh, it's not a spoiler to say they kick ass.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love the
Technically
Broken
not a
99.
new episode either, because they had it already. They just remastered it. So
Yeah,
Not 99 should be in there. That would be awesome.
it would be great with those clones.
One heart, one blood. Let's go, guys.
Do it. All right, and then
we need a lot of the clones though. Still, like Wolfpack. They still need Plo Koon leading the clones.
Oh my God, Flo, that'd be great.
all right.
Excuse to rework my Jedi.
Let's see here. Angel Chips for you. Clash says, do we think Kit will be useful in GAC TW at Gear 11 Unlock versus mainly Relic Tunes? What do you think of him at Gear 11 Unlock? Will he be like good, or will he be one of those characters like Gas, where it's like, well, until he gets to Gear 12, he's kind of like, bleh.
Oh, Cat. Oh, yeah. No, I think he will be good. I think.
Okay.
I mean, no, there are definitely ways you can use him. Even after he's just been unlocked. That I'm obviously we're all just theory crafting it right now. We'll have to see it play out, but I still get. I'm so close to getting my my 7-star gas, but I still get holds with him on like a Padme team sometimes. I mean, there are definitely ways that you can find to use these characters until they're at max stars and max power.
Very nice. All right, see here. Next question. I'm going to kind of start with you, Nev, on this one, and then we'll work our way around. From Kurtman, he says, we all have complaints about the game, myself included. What's one thing we should add to make the game tolerable? If you had any
Sandbox.
thoughts. Yeah, I'm sandbox with you all the way, brother. Because
Sandbox.
Me and Nev could just do a stream like, Nev, let's go beat the crap out of each other. Okay, and we go. You know,
Sandbox, GAC Sandbox.
Everybody's got a good team. Like in arena or something, if you want to compare, like, you know, we could just, it would just be
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Yeah, you know. I mean, no, we already know Jedi Master Dash of Mace, so
it would make for some awesome content.
It would make it tolerable
well.
because if they reworked Jedi Master Dash, if they reworked Mace, I think you would be very happy, right?
Extremely.
See, it's simple things like that. What about you, KP67?
Oh, Empire. They need a sore fix up right now.
Good.
They're hurting.
They can get in line.
They can get in line.
Listen to that. Oh man. How did Order 66 go again? How did that go again?
See, this is what I'm talking. See, this is why we need a sandbox so that these two can duke it out. Jedi
what are we
versus
going
Empire.
to do? There's too many
we're
of them.
We're in the same guild, you know. I know where you live.
It was at this point KP67 realized he messed up.
If you don't hear from me again, guys, you need to find a master.
It's like, we'll have an answer.
It's true, though.
So
There's
these Jedi suck. What's that KP67? Well, I was saying Jedi suck.
But I will say it's fun. Like Emperor Palpatine is fun at Gear 13 R7, man. Like,
he's pretty nice.
Blasting people for 50K.
Unlimited power.
Oh, it's awesome.
What about you? What about you, Clash?
I am gonna say the one thing they could probably do is kind of kill two birds, one stone, at least in the interim, until you get to a sandbox mode. If they just go back to re-upping the difficulty level of Galactic War,
that'd be a good one.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. I would like that.
Because that was like our sandbox mode right there.
Yeah,
exactly.
A lot of theory crafting and trying to figure stuff out. I mean, we used to do hours of just content on just, my God, this GW so hard.
I wonder if they ever would. Have they ever answered that? Because they've been revamping the events to give us.
They did hint at that was a possible option, but they didn't say. I think
it would take too much. It would take too many man hours to redo the code for that, because there's a lot of code. There is like literally hundreds. There's going to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of code for the GW, and in order to up the the difficulty level for that across the board, that they would have to do a hell of a lot of recoding for that one feature. And I just, because there's no money in it, I don't think that they will allocate the man hours to the developers to do something like that. Yeah. If there were developers that were prepared to do stuff off their own backs, it's like, okay, you want to do it, you want to do that for the community, go do that in your own time. It's a bit like Chief Tyrrell and his Blackbird project in Battlestar Galactica. If you want to do it, you can do it in your own time. We ain't going to pay you for it. If you want to do that and give something back, go ahead.
Yeah, well,
but we ain't going to pay for you to do it on our dime.
Yeah.
The question was, what could they do? We're going positive here. We know it. It's tough.
Yeah, this is fun. What they could, what we wish.
I think if they had a couple of developers that would, if
pay those people.
Yes, we're going to do it. We'll do it.
Their spaghetti coding hasn't stopped them from breaking stuff over and over, so they can totally break Galactic War.
Do it. All right, next question from Grim. I think we're at UKP67. The question, I'm at a quandary as to who I should relic next. Jedi Knight Revan, Nihilus, Rex, Dooku, EP, Grandmaster Yoda Candors, or L337? Or should I just hoard? I heard Jedi Knight Revan in that, and I was like, what? What do you mean who you should relic next? All those other characters...
Hey, in his defense, I only recently took Jedi Knight Revan to Gear 13, so...
But if you had a choice out of all those, and Jedi Knight Revan... No, it's not.
You're talking to an Empire guy. It'd be like the same thing if you asked
normal
me,
people.
Well, you
and then
say
you
that
put,
with
like,
such
Jedi-
distaste,
A
Jedi
Jedi would
Master
say Jedi Knight
Adastra.
Revan. A Jaster would say a Jedi Knight Revan 100%.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
I'm with
EQ,
her.
man.
No way.
I'm with her. I'm with Adastra.
No, L3 and Canderous all the way.
See?
Just Horde. You suck.
Well, I would
man.
say Horde.
Yeah, just
I would say
Horde.
Horde.
Yeah, I don't want to help you anymore.
Just a reality Horde. Just Horde.
Yeah, just Horde. All right, next question from Jedi Master Dash. Question: if only there was a place that could post information on maybe a website that players could go to, so we can have a direct information source officially. Okay. Well, I think we don't have that already. What else? 23. So quit begging. What else? 23 is it just me or just KP67 like a 16-year-old warrior? That's a compliment.
I know I have a very nasal voice, guys. I'm sorry.
God. Let me see. Let me find your question here, JMA. Grande Verga question: how do I beat the cam mission? We talked about this earlier, but like, what's your strategy, JMA, on the cam mission?
Oh, well, just happen to have this amazing guide that I made.
There you go. Where can they find this amazing guide, JMA?
I'll go ahead and post it.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's why I gave you the blue power.
I was gonna say, yeah, thank you, by the way, for granting that to me, so I can post links.
Yeah, you said you were. I just saw. You're next time. Yeah, if you guys need to post something, it's not just let me know, and I'll grant you that. So, but
yeah, for real though, the Camish. I mean, the RNG is ridiculous, but there's still, it wasn't just me. I volunteered to do this guide, but by no means was I alone in making that. There's that cam server I mentioned. Another person named Poliana. Sorry, I'm not saying that right, but they helped me big time in some proofreading and just making sure it gets on that stats right. And,
very nice.
But yeah, it's helped a lot of people, which I'm thankful for. I got destroyed because of the burn bug, but a lot of people that lost last time, they were able to beat it this time. It's just when you get that RNG, it's just there's nothing you can do. But yeah, let me link it here.
Go ahead and do that. Let me get the next.
It has everything you need to know. It has the modding requirements. It has just a general explanation of the mechanics.
Nice.
Some people, they don't understand, the special special ability stand your ground that Shock has. So like some people don't even know about that. So it just, we tried to cover as much information as possible to make it to give people the best chance in this RNG heavy mission here.
All right. So get that post. We have a fun question here for you and Adastra KP and Adastra. Dig Doug says, question, KP and Adastra, what are you doing to celebrate Officer Smoke's birthday? And he did a super chat earlier, and I forgot to call that out.
Well,
it's Smoke's birthday every day.
Oh, well then, what do you do every day then?
Well, we celebrate Smoke, the Grand Officer of the Wampa Herders.
Okay.
You heard it here first, guys. Grand Officer.
Congratulations on your 975th birthday. All right, Cape. So, Clash, Utah question: when will that stupid special offer button go away if I won't buy it?
Never. That's an easy one. Never. It's going to stay there. In fact, it's just going to get bigger the longer you don't. It's just going to take over half your screen. But by summer, it'll be half your screen.
It's like a cancerous growth.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting bigger.
Guys, today on RSG, we're going to do some... we were going to do some GAC, but I can't actually see the match to show you the match, and I don't even know what buttons I'm pushing. Like you go every time, it's so
guide,
big.
So if anyone else needs to look at that, it's there. But I tagged the person that asked about it. So, but a lot of work went into that from a lot of people. So
yeah,
we're continuing to perfect it. So hopefully next time win rates continue
Wolfpack
to go
puts
up.
out some good stuff.
But again, there's only so much you can do with the RNG and the bugs. But it is what it is.
All right, last question. We'll give it to you, Clash. That was kind of a fun one. But Janik B says, question. I was late to the party, so I don't know if you already asked, but who would you run in the Bounty Hunter Challenge top tiers? What are you thinking about for this upcoming next thing that we're going to be dealing with here for the extra gear and stuff?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm not sure. I mean, it seems like there's something to be said, of course, for Bosk, right? You're probably going to need a lot of regen.
Oh, yeah.
but I really like Imbo. I think he's got a unique possibility if you like max health mob them, and that could give you an opportunity with a bunch of counterattacks. It's just going to be it'll be interesting to see how the mechanics are increased. But I'm looking at those two right now.
Yeah,
Imbo and Bosk.
Mainly my Bindhunters are pretty geared. I mean, I've got Boss Relic. They're super fast. I like Django Lead. I'm gonna try that out, but we're gonna have to kind of play around with it. I think a little bit to see, let the theory get their hands on it and kind of see like what's happening, what's working, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, they're the ones that figured out that was Thrawn B1 and the rest on the other one. So it was like, okay. I mean, the highest tier is going to be like, do you have Relic 7 characters? No, then I have nothing for you. So. Can you beat it with Relic 1? No, did you not hear me? Relic 7. Okay? I mean, like, just stop. So, all right. So I think that covers all the questions that we're here. I'm cutting it off because we need to give everybody time to pimp and shut her down. So, Nev, where can folks check you out, my friend? Time to pimp your stuff.
Friends can check me out at the Escape Podcast, part of the Escape Podcast Stories Network. I do have a private channel as well, Nev, which is mainly me live streaming GACs because I don't do daily content anymore. But hit me up. You can find me on the Escape Podcast, and you can find me on my private channel, the Nev.
Every Friday, check them out, guys. KP67s, what's going on in your world, homie?
Man, busy, but I do have a YouTube channel as well, just KP67s. It probably hasn't seen a lot of updating recently, but
I haven't seen much hits from your channel.
No,
I know I'm subscribed and stuff.
It's just been life. It's just been life. Busy, running around, starting a new job. I'm getting married in a few months, so.
Oh, congratulations!
Congrats.
So it's just really hectic, but I have an idea for a new-ish series to come out. And I'm just trying to find a new niche, basically. So that's about it.
There you go. I just subbed to my private channel on YouTube for UKP67. So now I've got an RSG and my personal account. All right. The lovely Jedi Master Dasha, who was able to stay the entire Jedi Academy, which is always a plus. Where can folks check you out? I mean, you've done a great job with the links today, but I know you got your own channel and stuff. So where can folks go find you if they need you?
Well, you can find me at Jedi Master Dastra on YouTube, where it's Jedi-related content. Shock, right? I haven't uploaded as much recently either. I have all these recordings I've done. It's just the time factor. It's really time-consuming trying to put together a video, and then how I want to do it, and the details. I have these ideas for a series, so it may happen, it may not. We'll see. It'll be fun if it does, and if it doesn't, no one will know. So it's a win-win, I guess.
Sure. Hey.
Otherwise, you can find me on Discord. I'm on the RSG if you have a question, I help out.
Just get with Durgan. He knows where she's at all times. He'll let you know.
He knows where everyone is.
That's the buddy system.
But yeah.
All right. Clash! Where can folks...
You can get me at Clash DOE on YouTube. I also encourage you to check out the Scoundrel Discord server if you aren't there.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some cool stuff there. I have put out a couple of videos recently, but I just didn't make them public. They're posted on my server. I've got one showing how to use Phoenix to beat those pesky newt teams on defense, as well as a really intense breakdown of why I don't think bugs, like the order of the bugs in their lineup, affects the ability for them to put the debuffs on in a certain order. There are reasons why I didn't make these public, right? They're very, very slow and very thorough, but they're there. I am working on another one right now. I was able to climb fully through my arena the last few days using Kira L3, Han Chewie, and Watt.
Nice.
So I'm excited. The Scoundrels are now 4 for 4 in beating the last 4 metas, so I'm pretty stoked.
Nice.
Sweet.
All right. So make sure you support all these guys, especially since they come here on the Jedi Academy to take time from their busy schedule to answer your questions. So if you could just show a little bit of love, visit their channels, watch some of their videos. If you like what you see, stay subscribed there. Keep watching their stuff. Maybe you can just find what works for you. I mean, they all put out great content. So support them. It's the best way to show your support for what they're doing for you on a Saturday morning. Is to at least go check out some of their videos, give them some thumbs up. It really helps with monetization and getting their name out there, things of that nature, and it's really important, especially trying to hit certain milestones. So I please for us, we always like to pimp out all these wonderful people. So please check out their stuff. And then if you're watching this, of course, you're watching RSG. If you're a long-time viewer, you know the deal. I don't really need to tell you much, but we do a lot of streaming. For today and tomorrow, I think this will be the only stream. Finn's out of town. There's no D&D tomorrow. He's at a seminar or something, and we have some people missing, so no D&D tomorrow. But we'll be back on Monday. And on top of that, I've got to do a lore video on the Eternal Twins. I'm doing another lore video on the you'll love this one, Jedi Master Dasha, the lightsaber forms. So you'll probably get a kick out of that. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me this weekend that I need to work on. And then we'll be back Monday through Friday like we always are with our lunch stream. Everybody's welcome to come check it out and, have fun. We do Ross reviews every day. And then we have our Wednesday night stream. And, of course, the Jedi Academy, which you are currently watching right now. So do me a favor. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you'd like to support the channel, check out our Patreon. We offer a lot of cool stuff there. With that, I think we're going to wrap it up. So on behalf of myself and the council, thank you so much for being with us here on a Saturday morning. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know if you did. Have a great rest of your weekend. You deserve it. We love you, and we will see you guys next week. Peace out.